Hi, welcome to Eddie's Research. Researching the news, is it true or false? As I have done on previous videos, this is the entire research, but in visual form. You can still download my entire Word document so you can actually read it and look at the pictures and click on the links yourself. I just do this so that some people like to watch a video because they can take it in a bit easier. So it's word for word, more or less, based on the research I've done. So for this bit of research, I'm going to be looking at the evidence that Iran was behind the attack on the oil tankers in the Gulf earlier in 2019. Now, I'm recording this in July. I did my research back end of June, I think. I'll be looking at the actual video, pictures, etc. from the direct source, as well as images from the media. Bear in mind, as this happened in the middle of the ocean and there aren't many people swimming by with their phones, I won't waste time looking for images on social media unless it's from a news outlet. So with this in mind, let's begin. So the actual attack in the Gulf involved oil tankers. Occurred on the 13th of June 2019. 2 oil tankers were damaged by explosions in the Gulf of Oman. One was on a tanker Front Altair carrying 75,000 tons of naphtha, and the other was on tanker Kokuka, if I'm saying that right, Courageous. Now, I'm not going to look at the wordy parts of the news articles out there, but the images, videos, and occasional words where they explain what it was in relation to in places, etc. So onto the footage. So the official site is where it all came from. It was either distributed to news outlets or allowed to use their footage. It was actually US Central Command. So this is US Central Command. It's a military website there. There it all is. See heart's content. To read all any of that stuff. And the actual video, which you can see there anyway, is here. Okay, and the wording, and I'll read it out in case you don't want to scroll through all this lot, is: the US Naval Forces in the region received 2 separate distress calls at 6:12 a.m. local time for the motor tanker MT Altair and a second one at 7 a.m. local time for the MT Kokuka Courageous. Both vessels were in international waters in the Gulf of Oman, approximately 10 nautical miles apart at the time of the distress calls. USS Bainbridge was approximately 40 nautical miles away from the MT Alta at the time of the attack and immediately began closing the distance. At 8:09 a.m. local time, a US aircraft observed an IRGC Hendigian class patrol boat and multiple IRGC fast attack craft fast inshore attack craft FAC in the vicinity of the MT Alta. At 9:12 a.m. local time, a US aircraft observes the FAC pull a raft from the Altair from the water. At 9:26 a.m. local time, the Iranians requested the motor vessel Hyundai Dubai, which had rescued the sailors from the MT Alta, to turn the crew over to the Iranian FIACs. The motor vessel Hyundai Dubai complied with the request and transferred the crew of the MT Alta to the Iranian FIACs. At 11:05 a.m. local time, USS Bainbridge approaches the Dutch tug Coastal Ace, which has rescued the crew of 21 sailors from the MT Kokuka Courageous, who had abandoned their ship after discovering a probable unexploded limpet mine on the hull following an initial explosion. While this Hendian patrol boat appeared to attempt to get to the tug Coastal Ace before the USS Bainbridge, the mariners were rescued by USS Bainbridge at the request of the masters of the MT Kokuka Courageous. The rescued sailors are currently aboard USS Bainbridge. At 4:10 p.m. local time, an IRGC Gashti class patrol boat approached the MT Kokuka Courageous and was observed and recorded removing the unexploded limpet mine from the MT Kokuka Courageous. The US and our partners in the region will take our interests necessary measures to defend ourselves and our interests. That's oil, in case you're curious. Today's attacks, money, are a clear threat to international freedom of navigation and freedom of commerce. And then they apparently have no interest in engaging in a new war, which I think is I think everybody in the entire world who's watching the news these days think that's a load of rubbish. So there we go. So we'll get to the description very soon. Now onto the video. So like I say, this is the official video, not from a news outlet. So obviously the news have videos, but this I try to go directly from the source if possible that it came from, because that's the way that you know that it's not been fiddled around with, you would assume. Now I'm recording it fully in this video here, but on my website I've just created a snapshot of it, like this bit here with a circle on, and then I've pressed play and then taken a snapshot of it whilst it's playing, so you can tell the little circle's not there, so you can have a look at it. I think so. We will play it. Volume's on. We'll do it in both small version and large version. Oh, I had this before. So this is bizarre because it won't play, but you can get it to play. Let me work that out. Hang on a second. Well, I've tried to play this thing and it won't play because it's talking about a codec that's not found and stuff like that, which is really really bad because it just won't play. So this is the still that I've got, so I'm actually going to just play the video that I've got. Hang on a second. So I downloaded this one ages ago, basically back when I was doing my researchy thing, and I couldn't download it. I think it was the same sort of thing. I couldn't download it directly from here. I had to kind of like go somewhere else, and not from here, but from here you could open it up, and then it would open up this big screen, and then you could look at it that way. I think I tried to open it up from this one, and then it basically, if they can't even organise the formats of a video, they've would you trust them? Anyway, that's beside the point. That's the military for you. So this is the video that I I downloaded. So I'm going to show it in the size that it is. This is the size that it is, and then I'm going to expand it so you can kind of see it. So you can see there's the boat and there's the tanker. Okay, so let's expand that so we can kind of see it in all its glory. It's exactly the same image, but it's a bit more larger, but it's obviously going to be a lot grainier. Okay, so there we go. Now, I did. This is on my article. I took a still of this bit here. This is the bit where it's approaching here, or going away, I think, on this video clip there. I can't tell. I think it was reversing. And this is where the, where we're taking off the limpet mine. So, it's nothing to do with the tanker, the boat, or the water, but the actual image. So this is the image that I wanted. Alright. Okay, so the reason why is here we are with Euronews. Okay, and the image that they have is a thumbnail that you click before you can't click this; it doesn't play. So this is just an image of the video. So let me get my snapshot up. Obviously, it's a bit different. And pause at the exact same spot. But the question is where are those lines and all these numbers come from? They're showing the fact that it was taken 81 meters away. Actually, it was 76 meters on this one. And it was taken on the 6th of the 13th, 19, which for the UK people, that's 13th of June 19. So we did it the other way around. America do it that way, and we do it the other way. At 13/18/04. So where have they come from? They're not here. They're not in the original video, direct from the US Central Command. And if they're there on the original, why remove them? Surely that's proof that it happened on so-and-so time and date. It just seems strange to there they are and there they're not. Also, it's colour. So why is that not in colour and why that one is in colour? But we'll come back to that bit a bit later. So what else has the official site got? Well, it's only got one image. I'll get that in a second. And here it is. The one image that they've got. Well, it's basically a still, obviously, of the video. So, okay, so where have all those images come from that we keep seeing in the news? So let's just have a look, just to refresh ourselves. So this is the BBC News. Lovely colour they have there, don't they? But again, this wasn't in the original. There was no colour in the original. They didn't zoom in as well on the original. There's those grid lines again, just up there and down here. Not here, bizarrely enough, but they are here. I assumed it was the same sort of, I don't know, UAV or whatever it is. I don't know what takes these photos, but you would assume that whatever's taken this photo has taken this photo. But if this taken there, then where's the grid lines that we had there? Where are they? I can't see them. But hey, maybe they removed them for the sheer hell of it and then put them back on again. That doesn't make any sense, but there you go. Well, what do we know? So in the same video, so we have this image here. Scroll down. What do we know, or what have we been told? So we have this lovely image. It's nice. This is the Iranian Revolutionary Guard Corps vessel shortly after it was removed, involved in removing the limpet mine. But it alleged. I would say alleged because, you know. And we have another one in Euronews. So this is the one we had before. We've seen this before. Same image. I don't think there's anything. There's this thing here, which is the Kokuka. I'm calling it Kokuka. I don't know if that's how you actually say it, but that's just how I can read it. And then we have routers, which the video will start. If I can pause him. There you go. So they say that they're behind this mine here. Okay. We can play it if you want to, but you know, you can watch that video in your heart's content if you really want to. Because it's a routers, which basically means that it talks for about 2 minutes and then it talks about some other stuff that you don't probably care about. So I'm always going to go back to this. Just stay there. Sorry about that. Look, no, God help us, Brexit. Help, no, don't want to read about it. So with this in mind, let's see if what they say it is actually true. It may be, it may not. But just remind us to any special forces out there. So here we go, let's go back here. No, there. There. Remember, your special forces. You need this handy checklist when you're about to do something, you know, in the ocean. So, get your checklist ready. Attack in daylight. Check. Use your own boat. Check. Use a white boat. Don't use one with any camouflage or anything like that. Check. Assemble as many people on the boat so it may capsize. Check. Obviously it's a bigger boat, but you can see it from the first image. It looks a bit kind of grainy when they're all like scabbering at the end. Don't forget to wear high visible jackets, as with special forces. Because I'm pretty sure the Marines all wear the high-vis jacket when they're taking out some sort of, I don't know, doing some Navy SEAL sort of stuff and removing mines and doing espionage. I'm pretty sure they all wear that. In fact, I'm pretty sure the SAS all wear these high-vis jackets as they're doing their stuff. So I'm pretty sure the Iranians will do exactly the same because it only makes perfect sense. And you need an official standing by as well. And also don't forget to stare at the camera when it goes by. Or look up at the camera when it goes by. See, they're all looking up. They're not looking across, they're looking up. Anyway, what do I know? So let's start with the main item here, the boat that was used. So the official wording from the original site said at 4:10 PM the local time, an IRGC Gashti class patrol boat approached the MT Kokuka Courageous and was observed and recorded removing the unexploded limpet mine from the MT Kokuka Courageous. So that's my image. Yep, here they are removing it. And remember, the colour one appeared later, so that's what we've got. We've got that black and white version, so I'm not bothered about the colour version as such. So if you look at the colour version, supplied by the where is it? It tells you there somewhere. There is somewhere that tells you that it's supplied by the US Department of Defense, but I couldn't actually find anything anywhere on the US Department of Defense website. Anyway, on we go. Back to the quote. So at 4:10 PM local time, an IRGC class patrol boat, removed it. So it's an IRGC Gashti class patrol boat. The notable things on this picture are the black lines at the front and the back of the boat. Also the, let's call it a roof, over the driver's head. The onboard motors. And we'll ignore again the fact that they're all looking up to the camera. Probably taking a selfie. Don't know. It looks a bit white, doesn't it? Whatever. For this I'm trying to actually locate actual images of an Iranian IRGC Agashti class patrol boat. It's not easy, trust me. But let's see what we can find. So first of all, we have this tour back in 2014 with photos, and here he is. Where is he? There he is. Look at all these to your heart's content. It says the names of all the frigates and whatnot. There's looking out towards the things. And there we are. So at the bottom here is a photo or two of the IRGC. IRGC, IRGC, IRGC. Now it doesn't state Gashti. Where's it gone? There. But apparently it's an Urdu word for patrol, among other things. So here we are in this dictionary I've gone to, and Gashti is patrol. Patrol car, patrol. So let's just assume it's an IRGC class patrol boat. So I'm not exactly certain, but although this was taken in 2014, as per this article, I can't see any black lines on the front. Also, it seems to be a lot smaller. But again, this might just be an early model and might have upgraded them, because people do. And also the IRGC is the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps. So from the US description, it's an IRGC Gashti class patrol boat, or translated to the Islamic Revolutionary Guards Corps patrol class patrol boat, or just IRGC class patrol boat. Seems a bit flimsy. When you see the news article, they're a bit more varied. So we have what we have here: IRGC NFB, N-Turag. We have a Blade Runner here. Everything has its own names. And obviously, I'm assuming it's Navy. Don't quote me on this one. I haven't got a clue. I'm just going what I can just see in front of my names here. I don't know. Coastal, I suppose. Yeah, Coastal N. So maybe, let's go back up here. Sorry about this. How's it gone? Maybe it's an IRGC-N type boat. So we'll see if anything comes up with that. Now, I must admit, I searched for ages. I tried to match the boat with any pictures. I even went to Wikipedia, which everyone knows that I tend not to use because anyone and everyone and his dog can edit Wikipedia, so it must be completely true because, of course, I can go in there now and edit it, and then somebody does their research article for some, I don't know, chemistry or biology they're doing at school, read that and go, oh, it must be true because it's written on Wikipedia, and they fail their exam. But hey, you know, it's true. So here we are with the whole list of them all. Submarines, believe it or not. Got quite a few submarines. Some frigates. Corvettes? I don't even know what a Corvette is. I always thought it was a car, but that's... Obviously I'm wrong. Missile craft here. Coastal patrols. Now then I found the pictures for all these. I kind of also looked at the crew size. So if I was looking at inshore with a crew of, well, maybe not these ones here, but there's some that are large, like these are hovercrafts, amphibious even, support there, like a crew of 60, there's not going to be that, is it? I mean, look, you can even tell. So there we go, so that's in Wikipedia. You can look at those yards content. If you can match one up, that would be even better, but you can look at those yards content. So until they actually give us the actual full name of that little boat, I'm going to hold that one in judgment. Now on to the tanker. First off, the actual details about the tanker itself and what it looks like. So this isn't actually in the footage, but what it looks like before it left the dock. The official transcript from the US site states that it was the MT Kokuka Courageous that the occupants of the boat were seen removing the charge from. As we know, the MT stands for the motor tanker, so we can ignore that. So this is the Kokuka Courageous. There's only actually one with a name. If you search for the Kokuka Courageous in here, there's only one come up, but you can do it this way and just click. Oh, fiddles. Oops. I didn't expect that to go backwards completely. That's ridiculous, wasn't it? So, one result. If you type in some other things like the Altair, for example, yeah, that we heard about, yeah. If you type that in, Maybe not like that. Let me do it a different way. Sorry about this. Font Altair. Well, it found actually quite a few, as you can see. Sorry about that. Anyway, don't matter. I did find a few of them, but I can't find it now. Typical, innit? So here we go. This is the Kakuka Courageous. Yeah. So there it is. Quite a large boat when you see it. Tanker, sorry. Get my wordings correct. So the tanker is from Panama. Panama, where's it gone? There it is, Panama. And it's a tanker Hazard B, whatever that is. And here it is again. And these are all legit sites. These are quite useful if you're curious about any kind of boats or ships that are out in the water or something like that, and you just want to see about them. It's very good websites that I'm linking here. So it has an IMO number, and that's its unique identifier. So if you type that into Google, you'll come up with a Kakuka Courageous. If you were looking at, I don't know, this ship here, for example, and then found the IMO number, if you searched it up, that will come up with all those pictures of this ship, this container ship or whatever. So it's very useful once you figure this out, because the font Altair has it nicely stenciled on the back, so you can actually match that one up. So I know that definitely is the font Altair, unless they're just scribbled on the side. So we have a couple of images that we have on the news. I can't remember where I got this from, but there it is. There's the fire of one, and then same image there, and then when you scroll down, there's the other image. So if you've got the two together, you can see the fire and the smoke and all this business. Okay. But actually both these images are stating it's the font Altair, and that the other tank was observed to get hit at the same time. So now for this bit of image thing larking that I've done, I'm not going to go through the world of paint and all this business, because it'll just bore the pants out of you. So I'm just going to do the snapshots that are in my article. So this is exactly what I've written. So you can look here, and obviously it's just snipping things, so it's basically just skimmed my other picture away. But basically, this is the left side. Well, basically it's the side view that you had from the other picture, and this view here from this one here. So if you call this bit the triangle there, and this bit kind of like a step there, you can kind of see the triangle there where the flames are, and the step thing there, you can kind of see it there. So that's how we know, or how I would say that is definitely the same. That is the font Altair. So what's the Kakuka Courageous look like? So I tried to get some images from the previous video website. Where was it? And this was, like I say, this was about a good angle that was quite close to it. And then another good angle one, which is probably quite good considering that the still from the video shows it coming up here, right there. And this is Tommy Chia, and then this one here, which shows you a long distance shot of the tanker with a little tugboat coming alongside him. So you can actually tell it's different at the bow, the bow, which is the front of the tanker. First by the length of the name, does help, and also the steps at the edge near the front. Again, I'll just do this picture. So here we go. So this is the Altair with the little like step there, and this is the Kakuka with a curve and a step there. So you can tell it's the tanker that they show with the fire isn't the Kukuka, it is the Altair. But it just seems strange that the video we have of the boat and the people moving the limpet is in the Kukuka, and yet the fire's only showing the Altair. I mean, did the other one? The other one got hit apparently, because we have this image of a in-depth, oh, what do you call it? A picture of a. It looked like it gone inside. Let me find it. So here we go. This is the image that they have. Damage from a limpet mine on the side of the Kukuka. Now, I haven't looked at this properly in my research. I'm trying to decide where it is that it's done it, because it looks quite flat to me on there. Looks quite flat. And the image, from what we can see, they were here and then it happened about here. That's an inward one. So it's bent inwards. So that's got to be on the outside. Would you not expect it? Because normally a blast would go the other way. I don't know. Maybe it sucks it in and... no idea. Maybe that's on the inside. I don't know. It just seems a bit... It's going the wrong way. If you know what I mean. If you were to... I don't know how a limpet charge goes. I would assume it would blow inwards. But, I don't know. Don't design these things. I ain't got a clue. So remember, we have this lovely image. This is the image, the colour image with the grid lines. Oh, there's the 81 meters. Sorry about that. At least I think it says M, or it's a H. Looks like an M. That was the lovely image that we had that was in colour with the grid lines. Now it looks like it's in the Kukuka, and this is what I'm basing my research on. Again, this is just my opinion, just my researching thing. Maybe somebody can do something else. I don't know. As the T. Now what I didn't actually, I'm going to attach on the end of my thing, is the fact that this T looks very white compared to the rest of it. Don't you think? Let's have a look. Well, they are quite white. Maybe they redo them before they go on a shipping expedition. It just seems nice and white. It stands out like a sore thumb. Anyway, beside the point. So I'm going to call this a T, and this a 0 or an O. It's not, obviously, because there's letters in the middle of it, but I'm calling that an O for the sake of this article. So there's one thing I want to look at. The boat that they use must be pretty large. So if you wonder why, here is the railings there, in relation to the boat. So what does a tank actually look like when it's empty versus full? So here we go. Obviously these aren't the tankers, these are just examples. The two oil tankers. The tank on the left is full. The tank on the right isn't. And you can see how the red hull is visible there when it's not. There it is. So it's there when it's not full. It's not there when it is full. So that's like the line. I know we're going to say it doesn't state that the Kukuka was hit in the US website, just that they removed a limpet. But that's not what it says in the news. So this is the Euronews website again, the same image that we see before, same thing. And it says here, the Pentagon released images, many taken from the US naval helicopter, so it's a helicopter by the sounds of it, which again is a bit bizarre because if the helicopter was whatever, showing that it was Iranian forces removing an unexploded mine from the side of the Japanese-owned Kukuka Courageous. Other photos show a large hole in the side of the Kukuka Courageous. I call it Kukuka Courageous. Courageous there, above the waterline. The officials say appears to have been caused by another similar mine. Appears. See, this is the other thing you got to notice in the world of news is the words. Appears. It appears. Well, it appeared that I went to work today, but I'm not because I'm at home recording. So there's obviously that photo that we have there. That mentioned. So it was hit. Now, let's see if we can design some sort of scale drawing. This was all done using my skill in Microsoft Paint, so so here we go. So record. So here it is, and I basically removed the hull using the power of paint and a steady hand to remove the redness of the tanker, to show what it looks like when it's full. So you can imagine, I can't put the water there, but that's where the water level would be. Obviously, it wouldn't be up here; it would be down there. So now we need to somehow get the scale of the people. So I've basically used the same still that we've had before. Let me just find it a minute. And so I actually used them as a basis for the people. Now, this is all kind of on my website, on my article. So it's a copy-paste job, not a copy-paste job, a snapshot job, because, like I say, if I was to sit here doing this in Paint, I think you'd just fall asleep. You'd probably fall asleep now anyway. So here we are, and so here's my person. Removing the limping mine. So that's my person. I've got him as the size here. Yeah, it's his feet there, and there's his head there. And you can also see bottom of the hull. This is the red part of the hull here. Okay, so that's how we know it was full, or pretty much full anyway, from the from what we can see. So for this, we had to kind of zoom in and get the image of the tanker with the hull removed near the T to be the same size as the still from the video. Okay, so like I said, this is all nicked from my article. So the main person we're using is this one, and we need that T for comparison. It's all of the image that you saw before, and then put together there's the person and the T. Okay, so you've got that. You can kind of visualize that. So we then looked at the still, and you can see that from the top of the red part of the hull to the railing, it's actually 3 people high. So remember, here's my people, my person. He's here right next to you. There he is. There's the T. There's the P, the person. There's the hull. So going from there, there. So it's 3 people high. Okay. So that's from its own image. I've not tweaked anything or anything like that. It's exactly what you can see there. Now, if you try to zoom in on any image that's very small in the first place, it gets very pixelated, so it's either very blurry or you can't just see anything. So for this reason, I was actually going to try looking backwards, if that makes any sense. So let me just pause this here. Oh no, hang on, let me think. Okay. So the image that I have with the hull removed and the T showing is here. And now we need to see about that T. See, I'm reading it off by here. This is what I've got, and try and size it with the still that we have. So there's the large T, and there's that little T. So when I match them against the side, you can see it's 3 times smaller. Yeah, than the image I have versus the video still. So I resized the person to match this. So it's like I said, it's 3 times smaller. And divided by 3 is 33%. So if you want to do it yourself in Paint, you can do. So there it is. I'm just showing you in snapshots here, obviously. So here's the person, and here's the person divided by 3, in 3. So it's just, the image is a little bit out there, but it is about 3. So we've got the sizes of the person versus the large person, and obviously the large T versus the little T. So what we need to do now is add these lovely little things to my images, with and without. So here it is. There's the little T, and there's my 3 people. But like I say, you can see here. So this is the hull's gone. So it's basically full. But that's 2 people high. But But okay, let's. So this is full, empty, and it's still. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't match. That would be two people high. 2 people high. I mean, 2 people high is not very big. Does it mean that? I mean, if you think about it, right, in the context of, I don't know, in your own house or something, 2 people high is roughly about the size of your living room ceiling and maybe a little bit further. You're out in the middle of the ocean, because bear in mind it isn't all like on this little straight thing. You're going out in the Atlantic Ocean stuff where waves are just going all over the place. Who builds a tanker that's only 1 or 2 people high? I mean, maybe it's true. I don't know. It just seems a bit weird, you know, especially when you see a picture of a door. What do I know? Pause. Record. So how does that work? So it's either one person or two, with or without the hole. So like I say, how come the third is there? It was there on the main video. The only thing I can think of is that it's not the same tanker. But then the sizes might be wrong. And we used the T to scale it. Okay, so let's look at the scaling. What happens if we scale the small T that we have and try to stretch it to match the same size as the big T? Will that be 3 times as small? So I actually managed to resize the original little T. Now it's a lot blurrier because it's small in the first place, and I explained already about pixelates. When you resize images, it just becomes very blurry. So, you know, you have what you have. So here we go. Here's the original T. Sized up by 3 times. So it's a bit blurry in it, really. So what we need to do is we need to go back to the original video that we had and crop the original so it looks like this T. So here we go. So this is the original T, and we're going to crop that, and it becomes this T here. Okay, so that's the same thing. I've zoomed in three times, not too zoomed in, but basically it's the same size. As the other one. So, and again, here's that blurry one that we had that we moved in and like I say, zoomed in. So it becomes this. You can kind of see it there. And here it is side by side. But I think the T on the left has more blur at the bottom. Yeah, so I think it's around about there. So obviously if you drop that down, it's from what I can see, it's 3 times. Yeah. There's the original T. There's the new one. So yes, the size is correct, but the people, it just can't be right. So with this in mind, I'm leaning towards the side that it's not the same tanker. Again, this is just my opinion from the research that I've conducted. Also, I hear people saying, what about those lines above the T? That you saw in the original video. You can't see them in the originals. So let's just get you the image of the to refresh yourself, because you probably, like I say, forgotten what the hell I'm talking about now. Well, I'll actually show you. Sorry, I've just realised it's not like this on my thing. So first of all, we go to we need to search in to see if we can zoom in to these T's, because they're not very. I call it a T. I don't know what it is, but you can't see much. Even on these pictures, you can't see much. Now, after so much searching, I found a website. Obviously, Japanese isn't my first language, so I'm a bit kind of hazy with all this lot. But there is an image that I actually found. So you can see here, the kukuku. And it's here. So it's that one there. and there it is zoomed in. If you can nicely zoom in on that T, oops, you can see a line just above it. I can't really. Let's see if I can press Control and do it the other way. No, it won't let me do it. But there is a line above it. You can just see there, and there's the 0, the O, I'll call it, and there's the step that we saw before. And like I say, I can't see anything that would have that image before. I think that must be on the inside, but you know, there you go. Look, can we see any people on there? No. No smoking apparently. I would have thought it for an oil tanker. So remember, this is our image we had before of the T. So you can kind of see it there. There's the line, dash or whatever you want to call it. Circled there. Can't tell really from here what it is. It doesn't go that zoomed in. But I suppose, yeah, you can see there it's quite white. Maybe they do paint these things on just before they go off on their voyage. Whatever this T is, because the other things aren't. These aren't as white. So, what is my conclusion for this bit of research? Remember, this is just my opinion. Everyone is free to make up their own minds. The small white boat that was used, I'm of mixed opinions. Firstly, it doesn't seem to match any of the small boats that Iran has, that I could find, of course. Add to the mix that the actual name of the boat wasn't given, just a vague patrol boat. The tanker footage in the video is showing that it's the original tanker, but with one small caveat: the size. I'm unsure about this. I matched up the T with both tankers and they matched, but yet the size of the person just doesn't. Now, if the tanker on the video is 3 times closer, that T helps on this, then in theory everything is 3 times larger. Making the people 3 times smaller and superimposing on the original tanker should fit, but it doesn't. Now, there may be a very good reason for this, and I'm definitely open to any suggestions at what this might be caused by. It's a very lengthy research case that I did, but I tried to look at as many areas as possible. There was a lot more that I wanted to look at, but I could have gone on and on, looking at shadows, looking at water waves, looking at a flying seagull or something. I don't know. There was just loads of things that I could have looked at, but I didn't. You know, I kept it to a bare minimum, but within reason. Well, hopefully you've enjoyed watching this this research video. I do have others on my website. Please have a look at any of them if you wish. I try to research things that are either in the public eye, like this one. Everyone knows about this one. Well, most people do anyway. Or things that are not. You know, I've done a research article on the pay gap. That took me a while. That's interesting. There's a lot of numbers in there. I did an article on case management files. I've done one on murder rate in London versus America. This was a few years ago one though. It's not the later one that they've just done use all the knife crime. And the Novichok thing. And again, on the Novichok thing, if you want to watch it, that isn't the people were poisoned and this is it sort of thing. I was actually looking at Novichok to see where it could be made or where it's been made. Is it possible? I mean, I don't want to make it myself, but you know what I mean. Is it possible that anyone could have made this? And from my conclusions, I'm not gonna spoil it for you, if you know what I mean. Okay. Well, like I say, thank you very much for watching my video. Please comment, subscribe to me if you wish, and if you've got any news articles out there that you would like me to look at, please let me know. I try to, like I say, cater to all types, and there's plenty out there for me to pick for anything. And it doesn't even have to be a news article, it could be something of a research article that you want me to do. Okay, thank you for watching and goodbye.